This video is brought to you by CatBeast.com. Design your own custom snapbacks and hats.
First off, starting off today at the post office, got a package to ship off. If you guys are unfamiliar about it, I'm doing a little bit of consignment on my website for my friends now, so you guys can see a little bit more sneakers on there. But shout out to my boy who purchased the Air Max 95s. Shout out to you. But we're here at the post office to begin the day. I feel like for the majority of my videos I come across as like yelling, and I feel like if I'm gonna start vlogging more, I have to learn how to talk more naturally to the camera. Like if I was talking to one of my friends or something like that and not like all loud and yelling and stuff, I just feel like, I don't know, I feel like it'd be more natural. Today, what is the plan for today? That is the question we must ask ourselves. So I gotta head back home right now because I gotta take some pictures for the consignment site. After that, I think homie Noah wanted to hang out today, so I don't know if we're gonna do anything or not, but we'll make today dope for you guys. Welcome to another video. Welcome to today's episode. So I think that, you know, a lot of you guys don't know that I've been on YouTube for a very, very long time. And I'm talking very, very long time. Like I'm talking when you guys were still babies. See, right now I'm 19 years young and I should be going to college, which this semester I'm taking a break, but we'll talk about that in another video, or if you guys had seen the Q&A, I talked about it there. But yeah, I'm 19 years young. Started this thing 8 years ago. I was 11 years old. My beginning name on YouTube was Total 11 Guy. And I got inspired because I had seen, you know, a popular YouTuber by the name of Fred. He went by Fred Figglehorn, you know, hey, it's Fred.
Hey, it's Fred! And it's really nice out, so I think I'm gonna go swimming later.
And so, I had seen his videos and I got really, really inspired, I guess, as a kid. And I said, you know what, I want to make those videos for myself. So when I was 11 years old, you know, I was really, really, really inspired. So I took my allowance for that week and I said, you know what, Mom, take me to Walmart. I want to buy a camera. So we didn't even go into like the camera section. We didn't even go into the digital camera. We went into the toy section basically. And we saw a little toy camcorder. It was a little green camcorder, probably about this big. And it wasn't even, you know, it wasn't professional. It was a camcorder and it worked as a camcorder and it was cool because you could put the videos on your computer. I think it was like $75 regularly, but it was on sale for like 50 bucks or something. I had ended up, you know, just trying to edit it and make my voice super high pitched. I just sped up the video too fast and you couldn't understand what I was saying. But that was the beginning of something, and that was the beginning of something great. And back then I didn't realize it, but now, oh, now I do. And you know, as time went on, I soon got introduced to some of the greatest YouTubers out there. If you guys have been on for a long time and you guys are fans of, you know, Ryan Higa, Kev Jumbo, YTF, I was into that, man. I was like really, really into that. I mean, I saw Prank vs. Prank when they were first starting off. You know, it's been a wild journey for YouTube, you know, 2012, 2011, 2013, 2014, you know, it's been changing, and every year, you know, it changes up. And I've been on for a long time, see, and my thing was I didn't want to become a professional YouTuber, or at least I didn't know that I wanted to become a professional YouTuber. My thing was I wanted to become an actor, and I recently just changed my Instagram name to Legit Looks for Life just to fix my brand name. But before I had it as Tim the Actor. Reason being is because I was really heavily involved into, you know, the theatrical production at school. But I know I love video too. So my thing was I really, really like making videos, but I also really, really like acting. And I had named my Instagram Tim the Actor. And when I went to my new church, everybody had called me Tim the Actor, so that was like my name. Like that was like my name that everybody knew me by. And so I went by Tim the Actor, and I wanted to be an actor, so I applied to, you know, an acting agency and stuff, and it really never went anywhere. I don't know if it was because of me or because of the agency. I kind of blame the agency. I feel like it was more of a scam. But I ended up getting a couple parts. You know, I was on ABC. I was on a couple shows, but I was just an extra. I wasn't like an actual actor. I didn't have a speaking role in that. So, you know, as that continued on, some of you guys might remember I had a Disney role, and it was an audition, you know, a couple months back. Today's the day the audition for the Disney main character role. Hopefully, I feel cool, calm, and collective, confident in my part. So let's get it without further ado. And it's 9:40. I gotta be there at 9:45. It's down the hall. So God willing, we'll see what happens. I ended up having like no idea. I was super scared. I like didn't know how an audition was going, and on the paper it said who, but whenever I was talking to the girl, she was like who, and I was like what, and then she just looked at me like frustrated, and this was like you know, for Disney, so it was for a Disney movie. And I was just like, at that point I was like, dude, I just screwed this up. This is my first audition, you know what I mean? And so that's pretty much the only big break that my actual, you know, acting agency had ever given me. So the acting thing slowly started dying, and I stopped going to auditions just because they would give me, I haven't had an audition in like a year. I don't know what's up with my acting agency, but they send me emails, but it's like, you must be a girl, you know, 10 years old and stuff, and none of them fit my age or my I guess nationality. And so anyways, the acting thing for now is just on the back burner. I don't even know if I even want to do acting. You know, if I get an offer to do acting, it would be great, but let's move back onto the story. So I tried acting, you know, slowly, not really, and I was still making these YouTube videos. Now, let's go all the way back to when, you know, I started progressing. So when I was younger, I tried to have multiple channels. I think I had like 4 channels, but I would always be deleting channels and adding new channels. Reason being is because back then, my parents didn't really know about the internet. Like, they didn't know about the internet at all, and they were super scared of the internet. Now, I mean, of course, you guys know, like, as the generations go, new things come, you know, I mean, their parents or whoever, their grandparents were scared of their parents, you know, listening to Elvis because he shaked his hips. So in every generation, everything is gonna change. But my parents were just scared of the internet. They had never seen this thing before. They felt like people were gonna come find me and hurt me, even though I had like less than 100 subscribers, and they kept telling me, you know, delete your YouTube channel. But with the, I guess, passion and motivation I had, I kept growing my YouTube channel. I kept saying, you know what, I'm gonna make another one, I'm gonna make another one, I'm gonna make another one. And I kept doing it. My parents would just keep knocking me down and making me delete my content, delete the videos, until I said, you know what, I'm just gonna do it, and I'm gonna stick to it, and I'm really gonna do it. So I had a skit channel, and that skit channel's still on YouTube, but I will not tell any of you guys. I won't, because it's just personal stuff. But I kept doing that, and while I was doing that, I got introduced to another YouTuber by the name of Always Fresh Apparel, J Keller. You know, one of the most influential people that I've ever been inspired by, and I still to this day wish to meet him. But if you guys are into fashion and stuff like that, you probably know who I'm talking about. He was basically like the pioneer of like the streetwear on YouTube and stuff, and he was really good at it. He ended up stopping down the line, but my point is that I saw him and I said, you know what, I want to make a fashion channel. I want to make a fashion and shoes channel. And back then, I wasn't even into Jordans. I wasn't even into Adidas. I was into Supra, Radii, Vlado, Creative Recreation, Vans, Converse. If any of those brands make sense to you, then you guys know what I'm talking about. So I was into all those brands. I hadn't really jumped onto the Air Jordan scene yet. But while this was going on, I had like 4 channels. I think I had my main channel, which was skits, because I wanted to get big for skits. I wanted to be the next Ryan Higa. I had my fashion channel, which wasn't going anywhere at all. Like, I think I made like 3 videos for this channel, and it sat for like 2 years. I had my Christian channel where I would preach and I would give, you know, Bible verses and all that good stuff. That just took up a lot of time though, because I would have long sermons, like 20 minutes. And then I also had my channel that I was just doing, you know, crazy stuff with my friends, just challenges and stuff, just random stuff. And that never went anywhere. And so one day randomly, I saw this video of this guy thrifting, and his name was Professor Snap. And I said, dude, that's cool. I didn't know that I could find that stuff at the thrift. So, you know, a couple weeks went by. Mom said, hey, Tim, I'm going to the thrift. And I said, Mom, can I go with you? Now, keep in mind, I was like, I don't know, 8th grader at this time. And so I went with her to the thrift store. I got my iPod Touch at the time. This is the iPhone 7. Back then, it was like the iPod 3rd generation or something. And so I was recording my trip there, just like Professor Snap had done. And when, you know, that video happened, I said, that was pretty fun. I'm going to record another one. So I did another one, and I found something cool. And so I said, you know what, I'm going to do it again. But the first time that I went thrifting, actually, the first video, I found a pair of sneakers, and it was the New Balance X J Crew. I went on my sneaker group, because back then I was doing a lot with the sneaker groups, and I sold them for 50 bucks. I bought them for like, I don't know, a couple bucks. and I resold them that day, same day, for 50 bucks. Then I said, you know what? I'm gonna keep going to the thrift. So I went again, recorded another video. I went again, and I found a pair of fake Red 11s, okay? And if you guys don't know about Jordans or whatever, these are really, really popular Jordans. So when I found those Jordans, I said, you know what, this is really cool. And it, you know, by coincidence, it ended up on the thumbnail, because back then I wasn't editing my thumbnails or anything. So that caught flame. Boom, more people started watching, following, subscribing. It was blowing up and I was going crazy. So I said, you know what, I gotta continue with these videos. So I took my boys, you know, back then my mom was driving us because I was too small to drive. We started thrifting, we started looking for swag, we started, you know, looking for sneakers, we started looking for clothing. And we were just showing it and we were just having fun with it, you know what I mean? We were just having fun with it. I never thought that this would, I never thought I would make money off of it. I never did it because, you know, I wasn't gonna get big. I was just having fun with it, man. I had been doing it for, you know, 8 years now, so I was just having fun with it. I hadn't thought anything about it. So the more we grew and grew, it became to where I was making like a pretty good amount from YouTube. And it was really good, and I saw that it was good. So I kept doing it, the whole time, you know, being attacked with hate and just frustration and you know, people just hating just because I was a little kid. I didn't know what I was talking about, and still don't know what I'm talking about half this stuff, but yeah, and I just kept pushing and I knew I couldn't give up. And you know, one day I had this viral video where I went to the Nike outlet and that caught 1,500,000 views, 1,000 views I think it's at right now. So after that, it kind of just, I surpassed 100,000. I went to 116, 120 by the time you know it. And so I said, you know what, I'm gonna keep doing these videos and I'm gonna, you know, make a sufficient income off this. The whole time I was going to college, and this semester I said, you know what, I'm just gonna take a break for college. I'm gonna hit it hard on the YouTube. It's either make it or break it season, man. Because for me, you know, I just wanna be an entrepreneur. I don't wanna, you know, ever work for anybody. So yeah. This is, you know, my break season, and this is my hustle season, and that's what I've been doing ever since. I started my daily vlog channel, but you guys know what happened with that. It was too much time, too much work, and I felt like either I could have my legit channel or my lifestyle channel, and you know, one of them would be lacking because I wasn't gonna put my full attention onto both. So that's my YouTube story. That's how I got to where I was today. You know, never give up. Just keep on going no matter what the haters say, and just, you know, you'll get it. Now the biggest piece of advice that I could give to anybody wanting to start YouTube is don't do it for the money and don't do it for the fame. If you don't have a passion for it, if you get easily frustrated when you're editing, if you get easily frustrated when you're shooting the video, don't do it. Because let me tell you guys, it takes years to learn. And you know, it might not take you as long, but it took me years to learn. Like literally just to be able to pick up a camera and talk to a lens now that I have it, it wasn't always like this, you know. And people still ask me like, Tim, how do you do that, bro? Like I can't even talk to a camera, but it takes time. It really does. So I would say if you guys have a passion for it, you know, don't expect to make anything off of it. You might not. It's just a luck of a draw. But don't, you know, quit your job or don't, you know, drop out of school to become a full-time YouTuber. Like, it's not gonna work at all. It's really not. Just because, you know, I mean, it might. But it's really, really, really complicated. And, you know, most of the time life doesn't work that way. So if you do plan to start a YouTube channel or whatever, make it your side hustle, make it your hobby, make it your passion. Because like I said, this started off as a hobby and now it's turning into a full-time thing, which I am blessed enough to do for you guys. Now, is this my full-time income? This is one of my incomes, but I'm also running a business. I have my website, you know, I'm doing other things on the side. So it's not like this is my only thing. You know, YouTube has given me amazing opportunities to meet amazing people on all different parts of the world. I have friends in Canada now. Shout out to Sneaker Talk. Friends in the Bay Area, you know. Got to meet Sneakerhead in the Bay. David Got Kicks, you know. Everybody that I've met along the way, I'm very blessed to have, you know, those friendships and stuff. And those other people who do stuff like me that I can connect with. Another thing YouTube has given me is, you know, just a chance, you know, to be the person that I always wanted to be, you know. Because, you know, the acting thing didn't work out. But you know what? It's okay. Because in the next coming, you know, months or years or whenever it happens, TV is dying, guys. TV is going to be gone, and this is the new thing. So it's basically like I have my own TV show right here, my own reality show, you know what I mean? That I can do whatever I want, that I can make it however I want. So it's just the best thing in the world, you know, to have this. Some of my goals for the future, you know, I want to make tees soon. I'm like messaging literally a graphic designer right now because, guys, I've tried to design and it's not working. It's not working very well. I also, you know, want to, you know, connect with companies. I want to work with companies. I want to, you know, do like crazy sponsorships. I see other people working with Jordan and Adidas and stuff. I think that would be just the coolest thing ever, you know, to be picked up by a sneaker company. And one of the other, you know, goals I have, and one of my life goals, is to eventually get 1 million subscribers on this channel. That is going to be, you know, the greatest, you know, accomplishment. It's gonna be great. But, you know, I think that it would be wrong to end this video, and a lot of you guys might get mad because it's a touchy subject, without, you know, giving all the glory and all the credit to my God, Jesus Christ, because without him, none of this would be possible. And I think that, you know, a lot of you guys are attracted to the, not even me, but the Jesus in me. So I just, you know, this is, you know, an expression of my passion for Jesus Christ, you know, the passion that I have for YouTube, and to keep going and to keep this smile on my face, and just to, you know, say, stay blessed. That is, you know, it's all from Jesus Christ. So I want to thank my God, my King, first of all, you know, my mom for, you know, getting me this far. And I know we're not at 1 million yet, but we're gonna get there, legit nation. We really are. So today I just wanted to tell you guys, you know, my YouTube story, how I managed to, you know, make my YouTube hobby into a full-time career. And it's a blessing. It's a blessing, and I think that, you know, a lot of people can have this life. You just have to just keep going, you know. Put God first of all. You can't give up. And you just have to have the passion and the desire for what you want. And, you know, if you put God first, he'll give you the desires of your heart. You just have to want it bad enough. So that's my little story of how I became this thing on YouTube. And I hope that you guys have, you know, learned something from it maybe and enjoyed it. And if I can give you guys any advice or any tips, we can have another Q&A later on this week. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end this episode here. I love you guys. Thank y'all guys for all your support, guys. And I'll see you guys tomorrow in the next video. Walk in confidence, walk in love, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace, homies. Stay blessed. We're out of here.